I wanted to push weather forecasting aside for the most part for today because the weather chances for this weekend and into next week hasn't changed that much. And I just wanted to start talking a little bit about the page of how it started, my plans in the future, and maybe some other details that some people don't really know much about. Most of you that will be seeing this video will already be following me, so you would know what Midwest weather is about. But I make personal forecasts, not anything that the news stations or the SBC shows or anything. I make my own forecast using the same data as everybody else. On Facebook, I'm on Facebook, X, and YouTube. They're all the same name of Midwest Weather. I also have Instagram and TikTok, but I don't really focus that on that too much. On TikTok, I do post a lot more than I do on Instagram. On the storm chasing side, I do storm chase quite a bit more than I used to, especially last year and this year were both my first years of reaching at least 40,000 miles of travel time. It was last year or 2 years ago. I chased all the way down to the Gulf Coast. I chased a hurricane. Yes, it was 2 falls ago. I chased a hurricane at the Gulf Coast, but I've also chased rather as far south as northern Texas. That was last year when I chased the plains for 4 to 5 days. So I have went a pretty far area into the United States already, even though I only cover the Midwest. But I do focus on chasing in the Midwest more, as it is also a bit less tiring too. I first wanted to take a look at last year's tornado chases. So I chased in 11 states. Most of them were in the Midwest, but I also chased in Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee, and Arkansas. And I witnessed no tornadoes in Iowa. Even though I live here in Iowa, I didn't see any tornadoes last year. But I did see 17 elsewhere, even though I didn't chase for a month during the middle or end of peak season because of a broken arm. You couldn't really drive much. The bullseye was in the plains last year for what I seen most of my tornadoes in the plains, with 3 being in Oklahoma in one day. Not sure what day it was. I'm pretty sure it was in May though. Yes, I did. I skipped school to chase that. And then I chased twice in Nebraska and Kansas, but there was a big cap in place, so I drove 5 to 7 hours away to not see much of any storms at all. But that's what happens when you storm chase sometimes. For the first time, I finally saw 2 tornadoes in Wisconsin, and then I finally saw 2 tornadoes in Missouri. Missouri was pretty bad. I would go there about 11 times until I finally saw a tornado or two. And when I did go there, I ended up being in the forest a lot more. Now, so far for this year, I've chased 8 states: Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, and Missouri. So far, I've seen 11 tornadoes, mostly in a month's time frame. It has been quieter and busier than last year because there's only a few week window of actually seeing a lot of tornadoes. Illinois was popping off for a bit, but we've only had these brief windows of very high tornadic thunderstorms that move through. It's been more of a damaging wind or an overnight threat or just not any storms at all. It's been a while since we really had a good stretch of tornadoes, which is a good thing. I snagged 4 tornadoes in Minnesota. I'm pretty sure this is my first time seeing tornadoes in Minnesota. I think was this year. I saw 4 tornadoes in only in an hour time frame, and I didn't leave from here in Cedar Rapids until I think it was 3:30. So I got there only about 15 minutes before the tornadoes happened. So I got there just in time. Then I chased a damaging wind event with max wind gusts were close to 85 miles an hour. I'm pretty sure that was in southeast Iowa or maybe it was northern Illinois. Not exactly sure. I've chased a lot. I've driven about 40,000 miles so far. On well, no, I think it's close to 3,000 miles for actual chasing so far this year. And in Michigan and Indiana, I didn't chase any severe weather, but I did chase two snow chases in Michigan and two in Indiana. They were mostly lake effect snow events. Actually, they were. Michigan was the UP Michigan. That's when I saw like 2 to 3 feet of snow in just a few hours. That was in January. And then I chased in Indiana a couple times earlier this year as well for lake effect snow, on the southeast side of Lake Michigan. That was pretty good. Two events. I think there was a foot or 2 feet of snow max in them chases as well. And then I chased that Wisconsin major winter storm that will be talked about for a lot of years to come. I think that was in March. And it was an early spring winter storm. But I went up, got hotels for a couple nights, and we saw that there was about 3 feet of snow in just a couple days with that blizzard that moved through. I started this Facebook page, on July 19th, 2020, so I'm only a few days away from reaching 6 years of this page. I created it during COVID when I thought that with COVID, we were all stuck inside. I wanted to start making my own forecast and start building a business during them tough 2 years, of course. And then I created a Facebook group, a new one, just I think just a couple years ago as well. So I created a group in early 2020, and then I deleted that and then created a business page later in 2020 or July of 2020 because it would grow faster and you just get a lot more features. And then when I started, I had no sponsors. I didn't make any money from anything, and I didn't really storm chase because I was too young to chase. I started this page when I was just under about 13 years old. Now I have over 252,000 followers. I have had 122,000 new since last spring, so only about a year, and I've gained about 122,000 followers on Facebook. And then I created that new Facebook group just about a couple years ago, and that is already close to 40,000 members as well. It is called Midwest Weather Reports. And I have a lot more technology thanks to all the support. I got a lot more technology for chasing. I got a new car last year, and it's a good time for this because I'm trading my car in and getting my new one Thursday morning. So that as well. And then thank you for all the businesses because I get about 10 to 15 sponsors per month now. And I storm chase the last 2 years a lot more than I used to. I used to not chase much at all, but the last 2 years I chased a lot more, probably close to about 80 chases. And it is quite expensive, so I really do appreciate all the support. I added a few people to moderate the page, and 2 storm chasers, but really only one. That page is called Midwest Storm Hunters, that I really chase with much. In the future of Midwest weather, I'm not really in a rush for anything. I'm just building financially right now with all the support. I hope to storm chase a ton more in the coming years once I get my adult life pretty set. I do plan to chase around the country a bit more than I did this year. And I might want to get a business degree, but I'm leaning probably not at this point. I probably won't even get a weather degree, honestly. I don't really need to get a degree if I plan to do this my whole life. I don't even pay a bunch of money in student loans, and I hate school to begin with, so it's kind of torturing. I hope in the future to get 1 or 2 full-time employees to help with me as I get even bigger. Maybe I can have my own building in a decade or so or more, or at least a studio for myself, I guess. And I do want to have a bit more of a team of storm chasers that I feel comfortable with chasing around as well, and just seeing how things go, I guess. Before I wrap this one up, I do want to talk about this year's chasing. It's pretty dead right now. It's been pretty dead for a while, but I do plan to chase some more severe weather events in the second season over the coming months. And then this winter, I do want to chase more lake effect snow events. More storms this winter. I kind of, they're almost as dangerous as chasing severe weather, if not more, because the snow chases I chase in are usually feet of snow, not just 5 inches of snow. So that would be pretty interesting. But blizzards and tornadoes are one of my top things that I love storm chasing with. Even derechos. I don't mind chasing derechos that has powerful winds. I know they cause a lot of damage. Obviously, as well, and people are scared of them, which makes sense. But I do like all the structure in them ones. So I'm gonna finish this list over the rest of the year. Hopefully, I can get to do some more of the plains, like Kansas and the Dakotas, maybe. Probably not further down to the southeast portions of the country. It's all forest down there. The only thing I saw last year was a flooding and about 10,000 trees in just 5 miles. But I think that'll be it to talk about Midwest weather for now. But if there's any more to talk about, then I will make more videos on it if you guys ask.